Buckle yourself in, because this is not just another celebrity rumor. This is the kind of revelation that flips an entire reality TV legacy upside down and leaves everyone questioning what was real and what was carefully staged for the cameras. The love and hip-hop Atlanta universe is officially spiraling, and at the center of the chaos stands Jasmine Washington once again, except this time she did not come back with memories. She came back with destruction. In a late-night Instagram live that spread like wildfire across social media, Jasmine did not simply reopen an old wound. She ripped it wide open. With thousands watching in real time and millions replaying it afterward, she claimed the story the public thought they knew was incomplete, manipulated, and sanitized. While the world obsessed over the first child Kirk Frost denied, Jasmine alleged there was another baby hiding in the shadows the entire time. A child Rasheeda never knew existed. A child, according to Jasmine, Kirk Frost moved heaven and earth to keep buried. The internet froze. Then it exploded. Comment sections turned into war zones. Fans who defended Kirk for years started deleting old tweets. Others began rewatching episodes, searching faces and scenes for clues they might have missed. Because if this was true, it meant Rasheeda was not just betrayed once. It meant she was living inside a carefully constructed illusion. Jasmine went further, and this is where the story took a darker turn. She alleged that Kirk did not just deny the second child. She claimed he threatened her, pressured her, and paid her to disappear quietly. According to her, there were hush agreements, off-the-books payments, and a calculated effort to protect his image while she carried the weight alone. All the while, he allegedly stood beside Rasheeda on television, smiling, praying, and presenting himself as a man fighting for his marriage. Then came the receipts, screenshots, alleged voice recordings, and finally, a photograph that made even longtime fans fall silent. A photo of a child Jasmine claimed was the second baby. And social media noticed the resemblance immediately. The same eyes, the same face, the same unmistakable features. People were not debating anymore. They were staring. Rasheeda, up to this moment, has said nothing publicly. No post. No statement. No cryptic quote. But insiders claim the damage was instant. Rumors spread that she walked off set during filming, completely overwhelmed, blindsided by allegations she never saw coming. Viewers who once admired her strength are now asking painful questions. Was she protected from the truth, or was the truth deliberately kept from her? And now the narrative has fractured. Some believe Jasmine has been holding on to this information for years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back after being labeled a liar and a clout chaser. Others believe this is the final crack in a story that was never whole to begin with. Was this a revenge reveal years in the making, or the desperate truth finally breaking through years of silence? To understand how we got here, you have to rewind. This scandal did not begin with a viral live. It began years ago, in whispers, accusations, and a public meltdown that nearly ended a marriage. When Jasmine first came forward claiming Kirk Frost was the father of her child, the backlash was brutal. Rasheeda cried on national television. Kirk denied everything. Jasmine was dragged online, mocked, dismissed, and accused of chasing fame. Then the DNA results dropped. Positive. Kirk was the father. The room shifted. The narrative changed. And in a move that shocked almost everyone, Rasheeda chose to stay. Cameras followed the reconciliation. Viewers watched a marriage attempt to rebuild itself in front of millions. The story appeared to close. But according to Jasmine, that ending was fake. She claimed that during the height of that public fallout, while the cameras shut off and Kirk focused on repairing his image and marriage, she was dealing with something far more terrifying. She alleged that the affair did not end with one pregnancy. It resulted in two. And when she became pregnant again, everything changed. Jasmine alleged Kirk panicked. Another baby would not just damage his reputation. It would destroy it. So she claimed he went into full crisis mode, pleading with her to stay silent, offering financial support, covering expenses, and allegedly delivering cash with no paper trail. Not out of care, but out of fear. Fear of exposure. Fear of losing everything. If these allegations are true, this is no longer just a cheating scandal. This is a story about power, silence, image control, and the emotional cost paid by everyone caught in the middle. And as the internet continues to dig, speculate, and choose sides, one thing is undeniable. This story is far from over. What Jasmine revealed next shattered whatever illusion of damage control Kirk Frost thought he still had. According to her, none of this was handled directly at first. Everything moved through a so-called mutual friend, a shadow figure she had protected for years. A name she never spoke. Until now. On that Instagram Live, Jasmine finally said enough was enough. She described a familiar cycle she said Kirk always used. First came the charm. Then the emotional manipulation. And when that stopped working, the fear. She said he told her Rasheeda was fragile, that his children were watching, that a second baby would destroy families and lives. He painted himself as a man trying to protect everyone except the woman standing in front of him. And then he made promises. He promised to take care of the child, just not publicly. He promised protection. He promised responsibility. He promised silence would be worth it. Jasmine admitted something that stunned viewers because it sounded painfully human. She said she believed him. In her own words, she said she was young, naive, scared, and exhausted from being painted as the villain in everyone's story. So she carried the second pregnancy alone. No cameras. No sympathy. No public acknowledgement. She quietly left Atlanta for years to escape the hate, the whispers, the threats, and the online attacks. Her parents stepped in to help raise the baby while Jasmine battled anxiety, postpartum depression, and relentless harassment from strangers who had no idea what she was actually carrying on her shoulders. She said the silence almost destroyed her. Nights crying alone. Days pretending she was fine. But she held on for one reason. She truly believed Kirk would eventually step up. That hope, she said, was the most dangerous thing she ever held on to. Because instead of stepping up, she claimed Kirk slowly erased her. Communication dried up. Payments stopped. Calls went unanswered. The man who once swore he would protect her and their child vanished completely. And while she struggled to survive, he reappeared on television smiling next to Rasheeda, rebuilding his image, rebuilding his family brand, rewriting history in front of millions as if nothing had ever happened. For years, Jasmine watched fans tear her apart. They mocked her, called her desperate, told her to move on, laughed at her pain. What they did not know was that she was guarding the biggest secret of her life. A secret she claimed Kirk begged her to take to the grave. A secret she swore he never told Rasheeda. Not once. And after years of being pushed aside, erased, and reduced to a footnote in his story, Jasmine said she was done protecting a man who never protected her. Then came the moment that sent shockwaves through the entire internet. Jasmine looked into the camera and dropped the sentence that stopped everything. She said her son was not the only child Kirk Frost gave her. There was a little girl too. 3 years old. And according to Jasmine, the child already knew who her father was. She said it was time the world knew too. That single statement detonated across social media. Screenshots of her words spread instantly. YouTubers rushed to upload emergency videos. TikTok drama pages stitched the clip within minutes. Gossip blogs reposted it with sirens and breaking news banners. Fans began comparing photos of Jasmine's daughter to Kirk's older children, and the resemblance shook even the skeptics. The same almond-shaped eyes. The same smile. The same expressions. Then Jasmine showed a photo that silenced entire comment sections. Her daughter holding a birthday card that read, "Love, Daddy." Handwritten. Dated 2 years earlier. Some people screamed fake. Jasmine did not flinch. She said she had receipts. All of them. And this time she was ready. Because in her words, Kirk no longer deserved to hide, and Rasheeda deserved the truth no matter how painful or ugly it might be. Naturally, the question exploded everywhere. Why now? Why after all these years? Jasmine answered that too. She said she recently saw a clip of Rasheeda on Love and Hip Hop talking about loyalty, honesty, and rebuilding what was broken. That clip pushed her over the edge. Jasmine said she snapped. She asked how anyone could build on a lie. How someone could call herself a businesswoman and a wife while not knowing her husband had fathered another child in silence. Then Jasmine did something no one expected. She turned her phone and showed what she claimed were DNA test results. The surname Frost was partially redacted, but the child's age and Jasmine's full legal name were clearly visible. She dared Kirk to deny it. She dared him to try to silence her again. This time, she said, lawyers were involved. The internet split instantly. Some fans were shaken to their core. Others said they were not surprised at all. Rasheeda's Instagram was flooded with comments begging her to speak, asking if the baby was real, demanding answers. And then Rasheeda disappeared. No posts. No stories. No lives. That silence screamed louder than any statement ever could. But the storm was not finished. Less than 24 hours after the viral live, Jasmine posted a Dropbox link on her Instagram story. Underneath it, just 3 words. Proof. Every lie. What followed was pure chaos. Screenshots of the folder's contents flooded Twitter, Facebook, and gossip blogs within hours. Inside were alleged voice recordings, payment receipts, hotel confirmations, baby appointment records, and most disturbing of all, a notarized non-disclosure agreement Jasmine claimed Kirk made her sign during her second pregnancy. The document was dated years after the original VH1 scandal. And the name on the signature line read Kirk Frost. One audio recording stopped everyone cold. A man sounding unmistakably like Kirk could be heard calmly saying he could not have another child exposed, that Rasheeda had already forgiven him once, and that another reveal would end everything. He asked Jasmine to let him handle it privately. He promised money. He warned her not to mess it up. The tone was not emotional. It was strategic. Calculated. Familiar. Within hours, Kirk Frost Exposed trended everywhere. Major urban blogs reposted the clips. Verified cast members reacted. Bambi dropped wide-eye emojis. Spice commented that Rasheeda did not deserve this. Carly Red reminded everyone she had warned them years ago. The reactions spilled off the internet and into real life. According to production insiders, Rasheeda was filming at her press store in Atlanta when a producer pulled her aside and showed her the trending posts. What happened next was described as devastating. Rasheeda reportedly broke down, pushed cameras away, and screamed that she could not do this again and that she was promised no surprises this season. Security escorted her out. Filming stopped. Kirk was nowhere to be found. He stopped answering calls from production and from Rasheeda's team. Some said he was hiding. Others said lawyers were already involved. Jasmine did not slow down. She posted a blurry but dated FaceTime screenshot from 2 years earlier, allegedly showing Kirk smiling at a newborn baby. The caption was direct and unforgiving. She accused him of lying to Rasheeda and to the world again. Then she appeared on an emergency live stream with a popular Atlanta podcaster and dropped another allegation. She claimed Kirk tried to pay her off one last time in 2022, offering $25,000 if she agreed to never associate his name with their daughter. She said she refused. When asked why she stayed silent for so long, Jasmine's answer broke through the noise. She said she was not scared of Kirk. She was scared of the fans. Scared of being dragged again. But now, she said, she was not afraid anymore. She said if Rasheeda hated her, so be it. At least now Rasheeda knew the truth. Public opinion began to shift. Even loyal Rasheeda supporters admitted no woman deserved that kind of deception. Erica Dixon summed it up perfectly when she tweeted that men always get to hide while women are forced to fight each other. Meanwhile, Rasheeda remained silent. Fans noticed she deleted over 25 photos of her and Kirk, including recent family vacation pictures. VH1 reportedly entered crisis mode as rumors spread that Rasheeda requested a pause from filming. Kirk finally broke his silence only once, snapping at paparazzi and dismissing everything as attention-seeking. But Jasmine closed the night with a warning that chilled everyone. She said she had not dropped everything yet. More texts. More money trails. And something Rasheeda would want to see before ever signing anything with Kirk again. This was no longer a petty scandal. This was a war over truth, power, and survival. And the silence from Rasheeda, the woman who built her empire on strength, suggested that this time, the betrayal cut deeper than ever before. According to a close friend who agreed to speak anonymously, Rasheeda was completely blindsided by Jasmine's revelation in a way that cut deeper than anyone realized. There was no warning. No quiet suspicion. Not even a rumor whispered in her ear. In her mind, that chapter with Jasmine had been closed years ago, sealed by forgiveness, prayer, and public reconciliation. The source said Rasheeda genuinely believed she and Kirk had survived the worst and come out stronger. She thought they had finally turned the corner. But buried beneath that belief were questions she never allowed herself to ask. Red flags she trained herself to ignore. The frequent business trips. The unexplained withdrawals from their joint accounts. The way Kirk's tone shifted the moment Jasmine's name surfaced. Still, nothing could have prepared her for the truth that detonated online. Not only had he cheated again, but he had fathered a second child with the same woman who once nearly destroyed their marriage and kept it hidden for years. In the days following Jasmine's explosive live and the leaked audio recordings, Rasheeda vanished. Completely. No Instagram lives. No tweets. No promotional posts for her businesses. She even skipped the pressed boutique weekend fashion drop, an appearance she had never missed. The store posted a smiling staff photo with a caption claiming she would be back soon, but fans were not buying it. Behind closed doors, sources say Rasheeda was unraveling in ways she never allowed the public to see. Those closest to her revealed that she locked herself inside her home office and refused to speak to Kirk for 48 straight hours. Her mother and cousin rushed over to support her, but even they could not pull her out of the spiral. Through tears and disbelief, she reportedly said she could not believe he lied to her again. She could not believe she let herself be embarrassed twice by the same man. This was not just grief over a marriage. It was grief over her own silence. The years she spent defending Kirk on television. The confessionals where she dragged Jasmine. The empire she built on the narrative that her love had survived betrayal. All of it collapsed with a single Instagram live. What made the pain unbearable was the public humiliation. Thousands of people were tagging her name non-stop. Memes flooded timelines. Fans dissected old photos, replayed scenes, and reposted Jasmine's receipts like evidence in a public trial. The moment that broke her, according to sources, was a side-by-side image comparing Jasmine's daughter to one of Rasheeda's sons as a baby. The resemblance was undeniable. Same features. Same expression. The caption read, "Kirk got a type and the nerve to lie twice." Rasheeda reportedly stared at that image for a long time before breaking down completely. Even her castmates did not hold back. While some reached out privately, others saw an opportunity to stir the pot. Carly Red, always orbiting chaos, reposted an old season 6 clip of Rasheeda screaming at Jasmine, captioned, "Sometimes you got to apologize to the woman you tried to destroy." The comments were ruthless. Laughing emojis flooded the post. Others begged Carly to show compassion, but the damage had already been done. The internet had chosen spectacle over sensitivity. Humiliated and heartbroken, Rasheeda began cutting people off from her inner circle. One of the first to go was her longtime public relations assistant, who allegedly encouraged her to spin the narrative instead of sitting in the truth. Sources inside the network say Rasheeda refused to resume filming unless cameras were kept out of private family moments, a boundary she had never set before. She did not want the world to watch her break again. She did not want to cry on camera the way she did during the first scandal. In a heated phone call with a producer, she reportedly said she had already given them everything. She let them in when she was bleeding, but this time it was no longer a show. It was her soul being torn apart. The deepest heartbreak was not even about Kirk anymore. It was about the years she lost. The loyalty she misplaced. The image she worked relentlessly to protect. Rasheeda had been branded as the boss woman who balanced marriage, motherhood, music, and money. Now that image was fractured. Cracked wide open. And in a rare moment of vulnerability, she reached out to Jasmine privately. Not with anger. Not with insults. But with raw pain. Sources say she sent a message admitting she did not care about motives, only that the truth destroyed her. She said she gave Kirk everything and he gave Jasmine lies and left her with nothing. Jasmine never replied. Then Rasheeda made a move so quiet yet so loud that it became a headline on its own. She unfollowed Kirk on Instagram. One click. One silent statement. Blogs ran with it immediately. Rasheeda finally cuts Kirk off. Unfollowed and unforgiven. Still, she did not issue a public statement. But her cousin posted a cryptic story hinting at the damage behind the scenes. A message about strong women breaking in silence and rebuilding without warning. Friends say Rasheeda has returned to therapy, something she had not done since the last cheating scandal. This time, she is not only processing betrayal. She is confronting a pattern. Why does he keep doing this? Why does she keep staying? And the question haunting her the most. Was any of it ever real? As Rasheeda retreated to heal, the spotlight shifted sharply to the man at the center of the storm. Kirk Frost. The once calculated businessman and longtime love and hip-hop figure suddenly went silent. Dodging cameras. Ignoring producers. Hiding from the storyline he helped create. But the silence only fueled the fire, because the receipts did not stop. And this time, they did not come from Jasmine. 1 week after the second child reveal, a former assistant of Kirk's came forward. She identified herself only as Nia during an exclusive interview on a messy but wildly popular Atlanta podcast.